a little book review of this magnificent book that I'm reading, Manga, 60 Years of Japanese Comics by Paul Gravett. There is this comment by the celebrated writer Haruki Murakami, who says, "For me, the manga Maki Sasaki have had the continued effect of opening a window to a particular place inside me." And he writes about the impact manga has had on his writings. Paul Gravett traces the journey of manga over the timeline 1945 to 2004. Roughly speaking, manga means Japanese comics. And this book is no eulogy or apology for manga. With manga, the Japanese have demonstrated the same facility as with the automobile or the computer chip. They have taken the fundamentals of American comics, the relationship between picture, frame, and word, by fusing them with their own traditional love for popular art that entertains. They have Japanized them into a storytelling vehicle with its own distinctive form. Manga are not comics, at least not as most people know them in the West. Manga has expanded its potential and narratives on almost every subject for all ages and social groups. The Japanese have developed comics into such a powerful mass literature that it can stand up against the seemingly unstoppable dominance of television and movies, he writes. American comic books swept into Japan from 1945 via the occupying forces. Imagine the impact of these strange new artifacts, all in pictures and in striking colors, on children who for years had suffered the deprivation of war. Comic books proved irresistible. Like chewing gum, they came and stuck. Some titles were unofficially translated in pirate editions, such as the Archie comic book starring America's typical teenager. The Japanese also began to make their own, increasingly using the same page size as American comics, but produced them more cheaply in black and white on low quality paper over many more pages. Gradually, the range of themes expanded in sync with the readership, though not without resistance. So this is the back cover of the book. Let me read something about Paul Gravett. Is a freelance journalist, curator, lecturer, and broadcaster who has worked in comics publishing and promotion for over 20 years. He has curated numerous exhibitions of comic art, from the history of British comics for France's National Comics Centre to the Ancient Comica Festival at London's Institute of Contemporary Arts. He writes about comics for newspapers and magazines, including The Guardian, Blueprint, The Comics Journal, Comics International, and Dazed and Confused. Now, Japanese output of manga is massive, accounting for a staggering 40% of everything published each year in the country. Outside Japan, there has been a global boom in sales, with the manga aesthetic spreading from comics into all areas of Western youth culture through film, computer games, advertising, and design. So he's written a little about this, which I'm just going to read. Manga, 60 Years of Japanese Comics, presents an accessible, entertaining, and highly illustrated introduction to the development and diversity of Japanese comics from 1945 to the present, featuring striking graphics and extracts from a wide range of manga. The book covers such themes as the specific attributes of manga in contrast to American and European comics. The life and career of Osamu Tezuka, creator of Astro Boy and the originator of story manga boys comics from the 60s to the present. The genres and the genders of girls and women's comics, the darker, more realistic themes of Gekiga. I don't even know how to pronounce, I hope, and that's why I'm so slow. Violent samurais, disturbing horror, and apocalyptic science fiction. Issues of censorship and protest, and manga's role as a major Japanese export and global influence. So isn't that so interesting? I really just go through this. Look at these pictures. They are very well illustrated, and he's written a lot about these. I think you will get an insight into the Japanese culture if you go through this book. Very interesting.